Hey, all you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Dishin' Days, where you're about to get a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives with our special guest, Rob Wilson. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Dishin' Days, where you get a full recap of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. We're all laughing because there's one person who still can't follow directions, and that's me. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, starting with all the way down on the far left, the guy whose hair is longer than his Twitter name. We have...
My Twitter name's not that long. Mark J Freeman here. Thank you very much.
And of course, we have our self-appointed co-host, co-captain,
Matthew Evan Paine, the always handsome, always funny.
Well, I don't know. I think you might be outbeat in the handsome department today because we got
just be
our very special guest, Mr. Rob Wilson.
What's up, guys?
Also known as Ben Weston. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited you're here.
Likewise, my man.
Finally, that we made it happen. We've been talking about this for quite some time.
Yeah, a long time, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I think I owe you a car wash now, don't I?
You do.
You do. And luckily, it's right next door.
Yeah.
I just remembered that. I was like, oh shoot, I think I told
well,
you a car wash.
every time we try to get it going, it was during a Patriots game. So
That's right.
now the football season's over.
That's right.
I would always get that text like, dude, Patriots are playing. And I'm like, you got DVR.
But see, I'm a college football fan, so I was like,
Okay,
I kind of have to let him go. I have to let it be. That's a legit reason.
I turned into a complete girl. I was like, I mean, really, you can't miss one game. You can miss a game.
I appreciate it. We're here now.
Was getting ready this morning like a girl who was going to prom. I was so excited for you to be here
He
today.
has been tweeting and texting.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, you guys, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh man, thank you.
I've been tweeting RSW like we're best friends.
We are.
I know, we are. Yeah.
We are.
RSW MEP.
For me, it was just kind of like, welcome.
Mr. Robert Scott,
Thanks,
Mr.
man.
Matthew Evan. We're both.
There we go.
Yeah.
A couple of Boston guys.
Rob is fine.
Just a couple Boston guys chilling on a Sunday talking about Days of Our Lives.
Hey, what else would we be doing right
Exactly.
Well,
I have to agree with what Mark was saying. That's why I'm in the booth.
Hello, Alexis in the booth. How
Hello,
are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
back from
Hi,
Hawaii.
Alexis.
Oh, thank you. I missed you guys.
We missed you.
And a special thank you to all of our fans. I know that we bombarded you
awesome.
this weekend with voting for us for hashtag Show of Shows at AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yay!
And we won. So we are officially the winner of AFTERBUZZ TV's hashtag Show of Shows.
Best show ever.
I don't know what
Yes.
that means, and I don't think we get anything for it.
Nope, but we
Maybe
just
a
have the
pizza
title.
roll.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
that.
will find a trophy.
Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
make it work.
I think we deserve a
We
trophy.
need it by
No.
5:30 today, though.
Okay, well
We
then
have
I'm just.
a
Oh man,
trophy
look at that
right
time.
next to us.
Gotta hit the old dusty trip.
And if you guys aren't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram and Facebook, we are Dishin' Days, and on Twitter, we are @_ Dishin' Days, although the @ is already implied.
Yes.
All right, so without further ado, we are going to get started. So now it's time to start
Dishin' Days.
That's my cue.
That's it.
That is. There we are.
Very good. Very
All right,
good.
and of course, as we go over each storyline, we will be taking your phone calls so that you can weigh in on the storylines. So make sure you feel free to give us a call at 424-253-0749. Was that right?
I don't know.
555-1212.
Whoa.
No.
Again?
Wait, what is it?
No, you had it correct.
424-253-0749.
Get it, girl.
Boom. All right, so let's start with this Maggie Victor Deimos storyline. Okay, first of all, can I just say Deimos creeps me out. Mm-hmm. Not as much as Ben does, but the fact that he would be so evil as to poison Maggie in order to get all of Victor's stuff, I thought that was... it's one of those moments where, like, you watch Days and you're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Like, it's not that bad. But then you come across this and you're like, whoa, I think you're, like, crossing the line.
He crossed several.
But
this
I don't.
week.
But in his defense,
You gonna defend Deimos?
I will defend him because he didn't know she was gonna fall down the stairs and break her back.
Well, maybe he should have thought about that when he poisoned her.
Well, I'm just saying he didn't plan on that happening.
Okay, so if he could foresee, if he could talk to Caroline and be like, hey, if I poison her, is she gonna fall down the stairs?
Then he may not have done it.
Lies.
He should have done some better forward planning.
Or something.
This week in Days of Our Lives, I felt like I was watching a soap opera, like a true soap opera.
Yeah.
They hit.
This week was so good. Like, starting with you, I know we're not getting there yet, but starting Monday, Tuesday, I was like, what is going on?
I know,
like,
and it just kept getting better.
I know.
Yeah.
It was funny. I kept changing my quote of the week. I was like, this is good, this is good.
I started making notes of quote of the week. That's how good this week's episode was.
Yeah.
We each have segments, and that's his.
Nice.
And I felt like it was so good, I just wanted to steal your segment.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot to choose from.
I had a lot, and last week I had barely any, so I was like, they could have spaced it out.
No pressure today. Just don't mess it
That's
up.
okay, I got a good one.
Rob, do you think Deimos is a little creepier than
Hey, from one creepy villain to I think he's doing a fine job. No, I mean, I love Vincent Arizari. I got his back no matter what, and I think he makes some cool choices, even if it's creepy.
Those creepy
He's a
guys
great
stick
villain.
together.
Yeah. I met him years ago when we worked on All My Children. So when I saw him come through the door that first time, it was a familiar face. That was cool. So that's my boy.
See,
From one villain to another.
Villains stick together. Look at that.
I loved, though, also Kate with him. I still don't want them together. I still want her with Eduardo, personally. But
I don't.
But I liked the interaction she had with Deimos this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just kind of like going, like the claws coming off for Victor.
Because Kate is kind of like she's just this very powerful woman, and you have to like respect that. And she comes in looking at you like, listen, you're not gonna run game on me. You're not gonna feed me BS.
Yep.
I'm not that type of woman that
Been there,
you can
done that.
smooth. Like, I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And she went in there kind of like, okay, so what?
And
She
again,
threw a curveball too this week.
Yeah,
when
she made it look like she was gonna disagree.
say goodbye to him
Yeah.
and then slept with him.
Yeah.
She was like, I love that you're trying to get Victor back.
Yeah. But I
Said in the
it
voice
turns
of
me
Mark
on.
J. Freeman.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But I also liked, yet again, that they didn't drag out the poisoning.
I
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
too.
Like, they're just cutting to it.
Yep.
Well, listen,
I like that.
she had so many spells throughout like the past couple of weeks. At some point
a
in
scene
time,
stealer, as I was calling her.
yes, yes, she was.
Every time it was about somebody else,
Kind
it's
of,
like, oh,
kind
You
of
want her
like
to faint
me.
again?
faint.
Kind
Do
of
you want
like
her to
me
faint
on
again?
Edition Day. The scene stealer.
Oh, you think you're a scene stealer on audition days?
Yeah.
On your 6th week here, we're already claiming.
man.
We're already claiming
That
scene
is a
stealer.
bold statement.
Okay, I'm
Co-captain
I'm keeping
and
tabs.
scene stealer, Matthew Evan Paine.
All self-appointed.
Matthew, get out.
All right, so look, we have some fans calling in to weigh in on this storyline, and we'll take this caller here to find out what they have to say.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Hello, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Edition Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Lisa, and I'm calling from New York.
Hi,
Hello, Lisa
Lisa.
from New York. We're currently discussing the Maggie Victor Deimos storyline. What did you think about it this week?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Maggie, she does an amazing job. She gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
She makes me cry all the time, and she's great. She's a fantastic actress.
Yeah. Yeah, and even when she was laying on the ground after she fell and she was still like shaking, I was like, "You're good."
Yes, she was really good.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about Maggie's performance this week was when she found the ring.
Oh,
she
yes.
bent down to pick it up and she fell over.
And she fainted.
Yeah.
But she almost had that face of like, you know, when something happens to you in public and you don't want to make a big deal out of it. I almost thought she was going to say, "Everyone, please stop looking at me like I'm okay," and then like slowly like come up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. I try not to do things in public.
I was at a coffee shop watching
Watching Days? Oh, online.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, what
And
coffee
when
shop plays
she-
Days?
The best coffee shop in the city.
I'm like, could you turn NBC on? That would be great.
Commissary, sorry.
Exactly.
She fell over, and I had my earbuds in, and I went,
And all
It
the
was a
coffee
little
shop
dramatic,
looked around.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for calling in. And if you like, while you're on the phone, say hi to Rob.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're gonna see me in a couple of weeks.
Oh, this is that Lisa?
Yeah, this is
Lisa,
it.
I'm coming to New York for your event. I can't wait.
Oh, well, mention
Awesome.
that. While we have you on the phone,
Lisa.
mention about your event that you have in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 16th
Yes,
and
the-
17th. Lisa, you take it from
The
here.
Reach for the Stars fan event. Yes, it's going to be on Long Island in Garden City, Rob's first solo event, and we're so excited to have him here.
Yay.
Can't wait. I'm
Well,
excited.
awesome.
I'm excited.
Lisa, if you will, email us or message us on Edition Days and we'll post it tonight.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay?
And I wanted to give away a little prize pack of autographed items from Rob. So if you have one listener call in that wants to win, I'll be glad to give that away.
Awesome.
Okay.
perfect.
Ooh.
Thank you.
We'll do that towards the end of the show.
Cool.
Okay, sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, you guys. Yep, see you soon. Take
See ya.
care.
You
Bye,
too.
Lisa.
Bye-bye.
All of the actors who play villains are always the most polite. We
I
have
know.
Jason Brooks, who was here just a minute ago, so
Lauren
polite.
Kozlow, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're polite. Vincent, I've met in person. He's so polite.
Yeah,
Such
man.
a nice guy.
And I'm really
Yeah.
polite.
well,
Wait, well, don't laugh. You don't even know me that well, and you
I
laugh.
don't know, man. I can pick up on it.
you can feel it.
He's got that
That's
villain laugh
not
too.
fair.
That's a villain
You're
laugh.
not far off, Rob.
Alexis, you
Just
used to
kidding.
be
I
my
love you. No,
favorite.
no, I love you.
Well, to close out this storyline, basically, in order to save Maggie, Victor had to sign over everything over to Deimos. So,
Yeah.
was this a good plan or bad plan?
Bad.
For Deimos, bad.
I give it 2 weeks.
Because, I mean,
But I'm worried that I'm like just a little paranoid about Friday and Victor's heart attack. Like,
Oh,
if
yes.
they take my Victor away, I'm telling
what are you going to have for quarter of the week?
I may not be here.
Quarter of the week.
I may not come back.
Well, you have to come back because your little April Fool's joke kind of put everyone else up in arms.
But I'm just saying, like, that's not funny. Days of Our Lives.
Well, listen, Caroline told him that he was going to have a heart attack.
I'm just saying.
I was
putting
surprised
on
it
the
happened
record.
when it did. I was surprised it happened this week, just because I'd forgotten about it.
Well,
because she
I
had
had
the
heard
flashbacks.
something, and I'm like, I'm just saying.
I don't want John Aniston to leave.
Just
He's
saying.
also enjoyable.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right.
Days has some good villains.
Yes.
They could
Some.
have another one in hashtag Maxine's son, but they won't let him go on there now, will they?
Patience, Tony.
Maybe you need to go in there and just start a riot with the writers.
I should.
Just go in there and
You
start
should go in for an
taking names,
audition.
man.
Just show up. I'm here for Maxine's son.
It's like, listen, I'm
Miley Saida would be like, what? Who?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
passing out punches and lollipops, and I'm all lollipops. All right, so
great.
that's what happened with the Maggie Victor
So
storyline.
Maggie did her little spill at Brady and Teresa's big announcement party,
Yes.
where it was revealed. Shush.
I'm sorry.
Where it was revealed that Brady and Teresa were
Engaged. And
What are you laughing at?
all the one-liners that Victor had.
No, I'm Jen Lilly crawling around that.
On the
I'm
floor?
sorry. That was one of the funniest. I literally had tears. I was crying. I was laughing. She was so like, and she wasn't playing it. You know how like some actors, they know it's funny,
Yeah.
so they're playing it funny.
Yeah.
She was not. She was like, I need to find this bleeping ring. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
man.
And
Yeah.
So
I
close, Mark.
could. I know.
That was a close
Not
one.
explicit yet. I could not stop. I could
No.
not stop. And she dove at one point. She literally
Yeah.
dove to the ground. I was like, oh, I was like rewinding and watching it again.
Did you notice the times when people came in and she popped back up, and then she would slowly like go somewhere else, and then you would see her go, like she was just ducked down, like all of a sudden.
It was so funny. Oh
She
my God.
literally searched
Everywhere.
and I love how she was like, wait, nobody move. I lost my ring. I'll give $1,000 to the first person that finds it.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
funny that you bring that up because I was at the doctor's office and they had Days of Our Lives playing, and that was the only
That's
scene I
what-
saw.
that's
So I
so
was so
funny.
confused. I was like, "What's happening?"
She
And you
was
know how like in the
looking for a ring.
yeah, because in the doctor's office you can't hear what's
Right,
going on. So it's
yeah.
just this woman crawling around on the floor, and I was like, "What's going on?" I'm gonna have to ask the guys this when I get back.
So
That's what happened to
I'm
her.
having
for Jen Lilly.
Yes.
Alexis, I'm having an 11th hour change right now. I actually that was my disaster of the week.
Yeah,
I'm
I was gonna
changing
bring up.
it.
I was gonna bring up the picture.
You can
but,
bring it up.
Okay, cool.
I hated it. I absolutely
What?
That
Why?
entire episode.
You're fired.
Yeah, that was just wow.
That is
right.
not the
That's not the
disaster.
picture.
That is.
Yeah, I was bringing it.
Oh no! I was just saying that it's just not a disaster. That situation. That is a disaster.
Oh my God.
I would have
So
been okay
funny.
with it if it had lasted 2 scenes, but it lasted the entire episode. I was so aggravated I wanted to throw my computer.
Oh my God, take it back.
I loved it.
Take it back.
I hated
Take it
every
back.
second of it.
Take it back.
Look at that face,
I-
guys.
face,
See,
I was just
yeah.
So
turn
much
it up
panic on her face.
Frantic. Frantic.
I love Jen Lilly. I like her performances. I just think that writing wise,
Tony, do me a
killed me.
favor.
Yes,
When Jen Lily's back, remind me to bring this up.
I will.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
actually, what
I will
we'll
make
do-
a mental note.
We'll play this clip.
We'll play the clip.
You know what would have been funnier though is if while she was looking for the ring, Ben was down there just kind of like staring at her.
Looking for this?
Yeah. I'll give you this if you tell me where Abigail is. No? Okay, and then he just kind of fades out.
Yeah, I hated it.
Oh. Well, well, now what are you going to say during your days after?
I'll find. I have a backup. I always have a backup for situations
Oh,
like this.
look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I thought either keep your
Get
mouth
it,
shut.
Matt.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
Thank
Professional.
you. I just I don't know. It was
Well-
upsetting to me.
Well, you know what? Let's find out if what?
I was gonna say real quick. One of the this was almost one of my quotes of the week too.
Uh-oh.
Was when when Marlena was talking to John before they left, and she's like, for a smart spy, you are clueless, John. Oh my God, I can't read my handwriting. For a smart spy, you are clueless.
Put your glasses
That's
on.
it. Okay, and then I wrote to John regarding Teresa. Yeah, I could not. She just the way she said it, she's kind of like, for a smart spy. Not all there. I lost it. I thought there were so many funny moments this week.
There were. Well, let's find out what fans think about this storyline and the announcement and Teresa, and let's see if you stand alone, Matthew. Hello, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dish and Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tony. It's Lonnie.
Hello, Lonnie. How are you?
Hi, you.
Good.
I have a comment about the storyline. You were talking about Teresa and the ring.
Yes. What did you think?
I heard that Summer has stolen. I read somewhere that Summer has stolen Teresa's ring, but apparently it's not true. I heard it from somewhere.
No. Well, no. I mean, even though Summer is a klepto, she didn't steal the ring. It was later found by Maggie.
I saw that. I read it somewhere. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then I see the episode where Maggie finds it. It's like, okay, what's going on? Why did they say that?
Or maybe the one that Maggie found isn't the real one, and Summer has the real one.
Doubt it.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Maybe.
Summer is too busy fishing through all of her stolen credit cards to worry about an engagement ring. So yeah, so there's that. All right, well thank you, Lonnie, for calling
Thank
in,
you,
and I'm
Lonnie.
sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Bye, Lonnie.
Yeah, I have
and
a
say hi to
question
Rob.
the next time you do a storyline.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the next storyline you have? Because I have a question for it.
We're our next storyline is the Ben Abigail Chad storyline.
Yeah, I have a question for Rob.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up, Lonnie? What do we got?
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
I wish you would come back today. when you do come back today,
I am back a little bit.
I know, but
Full time, Rob. We want you back full time.
coming back to days after being gone for a while.
Like how you're asking how was it? What was it like coming back?
No, coming back to days after being gone for a while.
It was great. I mean, I love playing Ben, and I love where the story has gone, even though it's been chaotic. It's a lot to play and a lot to grow from, and I had a great time when they brought me back. So we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you.
Lonnie.
I think we're in a little bit of a
Bye.
split, by the way, with the people agreeing with me about hating Teresa. Some
You
people-
are trying to find people that's going to hate.
Someone in
You're
capital
lying.
letters, Marlon Wallace, thank you very much, said agreed with Matt.
Okay, that's 2 people, and there are about 12 of us that
Yeah.
I think that it was funny. That's not half and half.
Oh, Daquan, thank you.
Oh, Daquan doesn't count.
Well, I'm the lone wolf, and I agree with you,
Daquan
Matthew.
does not count.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 3 against 12.
I
Daquan.
still love
Yeah.
you, Daquan.
Well, let me tell you, there's only one person's opinion that truly matters. And it's mine. So,
Do you watch the show?
Saw
I'm
that
ready.
coming out.
Yeah, well, I mean, not as much as I was before, but I, if it's on and I have it DVR no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. So, you know, coming back, obviously I've been watching now
Yep.
too. So.
Yeah.
are you trying to get Rob to jump on the I didn't like the
Do you agree with me? Is my real
Is that what we're
question?
getting at?
Yeah.
I felt like there was
It wasn't, I
totally
swear.
where he's
He
going.
was
an
totally
underbelly to that
baiting you.
question.
He
Yeah.
was baiting you.
Yeah.
He was baiting you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So when Teresa, no, that wasn't it. I actually just wanted to know if you watched the show.
okay, yeah.
No, Rob enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
He enjoyed seeing
Don't
Jen
go
Lilly
against
roll
me,
around.
Hey,
Rob.
listen, I'm in. Now that's Boston people gotta stick together, but
Thank you.
I mean,
You're a Lone Ranger.
oh man,
That's all right.
I feel like I gotta have his back now, man.
That's all right.
It's okay, co-captain. Maybe next week.
I'm seeing a couple I agree
Yeah,
with Mark.
I have another disaster
Just
today,
saying.
so we'll try and
Generally,
get it
scene
then.
was awesome. I agree with Mark. I like the scenes.
Mark is
Huh.
wrong. Mark is
And
wrong.
who
So are
cares what
Tony and
Daquan
Rob.
thinks? Exactly.
One opinion truly matters, and that's not Mark. I agree. Daquan.
Daquan, I'm gonna flag you, and you can't be in the chat room anymore.
You can't flag him. All right, so pretty much that was.
Yeah.
That was it for the Brady and Teresa storyline, and now on to the Ben, Abigail, Chad craziness.
Batty
Okay, I
Ben.
will
Sorry, I was
Never-
reading the chat box here. It was intriguing.
I will never hear Itsy Bitsy Spider the same ever again.
It was so creepy. Okay,
I'm so
so
glad that they did that.
so like I told Rob outside, like when I was watching Monday's episode, I felt like Brenda from Scary Movie, and I was like, "This is some scary shit."
Yeah.
Sorry for saying Scary Movie, but
Too late.
But I was scared. Like I felt like I was going crazy. Like Abigail was. Like, is it him? And then she would like talk to him, and then I'd be like, "Oh no, he's not there?" And then I was just like, "Oh my god, when is he coming?" I thought he was going to pop up in my house.
Yeah.
I turned it off.
It was creepy. And then I said this before we went on air too, that I kept going, at first, when I first saw you, I was like, okay, this is okay. And then I was like, oh, it's just an illusion. Okay, she's just thinking it. So then every time you came on, I was like, I ain't falling for it this time.
And there's nothing like a good thunderstorm in Salem to make you want to poop your pants.
Right.
Especially with you
Right.
lurking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
I'm glad I
welcome.
could be a part of it.
Yes,
Right.
yeah. It was terrifying.
And
But I wonder how many people. I mean, let's be honest. If Rob Wilson came to your window and was looking through it, will we really be scared?
Come on in, Rob.
Can we do
Oh
a poll?
my God.
Can we do a poll on that? Let's do a
gonna
poll.
start
I'll do a poll
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
I have a
Would
feeling
you-
I know where that will go.
And you,
watching.
and you guys comment in the chat room. If Rob Wilson appeared in your window, looking at you the way that he does, it's been. Would you really be scared? Would you run away? Would you? I think some
I'd
people
invite you in.
Yeah, some people go to the door and be like, "Hello, hi, welcome. We're gonna have dinner together."
What if I just ran out of sugar and I was just looking for some sugar like a neighbor?
Through the window?
Does it have to be creepy all the time?
I think some people just throw bags of sugar. Like, here, you can have all the sugar you want. Actually, they'd be like, "What are you making? Just coffee?" I just so happen to have coffee in here. Yeah.
You eat sugar with that six-pack?
What's that?
I said you eat sugar with that six-pack?
Oh yeah, trust me.
That's
I
the-
dominate cupcakes though.
See, people like that can do that. I eat a cupcake and I'm like Sherman Klump. It's just
Clump.
just all comes out.
well, he goes to that thing that Jim plays. So I've
that-
heard about. I've
yeah,
never
that
really
magical
been to.
land.
Yeah, that
where
magical
the
land.
people lift things
Yeah,
up and put them down.
gets me every time. There's one right next to a McDonald's, and I'm like,
Sophie's Choice.
I'll have
I mean,
a number
really.
1.
no, I get a number 10, which is a 10-piece chicken nuggets.
Yum.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
That aren't
I
really
love
nuggets,
some
but
McNuggets,
that's a
man.
whole other show.
Oh my
I
God.
had made a comment a couple weeks ago that Ben didn't know that Colin's name had been changed. So
Yeah,
when you
true.
came back, you hit the roof in the
Yeah,
form that I had
that's
imagined.
100% true, yeah.
Yep.
That was fake Ben. Real Ben has not come out yet.
That
The real
we
Ben
know.
doesn't
I mean,
know
do we
anything,
know if
right?
it's fake
Oh yeah,
Ben or real Ben?
No, we know for sure because remember each time fake Ben comes in, he disappears, and JJ and Chad are looking at Abigail like,
Girl, you crazy.
"There's no one there. Who are you talking to?"
Did you see?
There's a culmination of both, and it was difficult for us when we were filming it too. What I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
I stopped mid-take one time. I was like, all right, is this real Ben or is this fake Ben?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it got confusing for even us even telling the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was. I remember that moment specifically. I remember even when I first read it, I was like, what? They didn't even keep his name Colin? They changed his name? So I was like, I'm ready. Let's shoot this.
Well, even if it was an illusion, but I can't imagine when real Ben comes back and finds out that they have changed the baby's name. I can't imagine him responding much more kindly, right?
Yeah, well, it's coming soon, so.
I did have.
I can't wait.
I did have 2 issues.
Okay.
With
Two?
With the storyline.
Okay.
Nothing to do with you. Don't worry.
All right, it's all good.
Issue number 1.
This is the honest group.
Yes, we're pretty honest.
Which we all know you didn't have an issue with Billy Flynn.
Nah, well, I did have. Actually, 3.
You had an issue with Billy Flynn?
You heard it here first,
Yeah,
folks.
I tweeted this. I thought he was way too covered up in the love scenes.
It looked like he was breastfeeding Thomas when he was sitting outside
saying.
after making love to Abigail.
Just
In the
saying.
garden again, where they
That was an
apparently
issue.
love making love.
Oh,
So
yeah, man.
That's where real Ben should have showed up.
The
I
American Garden?
thought,
Yeah.
I thought they would show him like watching, and I was like, okay, that would have been.
He's got too much hatred to show up there. He wouldn't be able to play his game there.
Yeah.
He'd show
Right.
all his cards and go snap.
Yeah.
I have
that'd be it.
a set secret question.
Sure.
Do they use the Demerit Garden as the little park garden also?
You know, we've worked so much in that damn park, and I feel like sometimes they'd throw up a couple of those walls
Yeah.
and turn park to garden.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been, man, time flies. Time
Right.
flies.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do remember a couple instances, yeah. The bench came out,
Yeah,
the flowers
that's exactly
came in.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. I had that feeling when they were doing a scene when Abigail and Chad were in there.
Hint, hint, it's weird, guys. Change that
Yeah.
thing out.
Okay, wait. Now, Mark,
Time.
the 2 things.
Yeah, 1 we talked about. Chad.
Oh, yeah, what was the second?
Less clothing.
Chad, yes.
2 was the phone call from Jennifer.
And that was almost a disaster.
I was like, real, and the fact that they said it, like, just the fact having her say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was running." Yeah, you know,
I was
I'm sorry.
running out of
Or
breath.
even if she would have just said I had a bad connection,
Yeah.
I would have been fine with it. But then it was like, it's because I had to run upstairs and I had to close your window and I didn't want. And I was like, no. See, now we've just gone
too
too
much.
far. It just
Yeah.
went way too far.
Right.
That I had an issue with. And
Her
then
phone call where she was clutching the pill bottle. Did you?
Yeah.
Jennifer was like,
Oh, yeah,
"It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
regular
Yes.
day in Salem
Yeah.
with my pills."
And then the last one was the bear in the hallway. That was supposed to be the shot. I'm like, I can testify that is not what a bear shot.
Well,
looks
when
like.
they kept clicking and it was Ben's shadow,
Right.
And then they were like, "Oh no, it's a big bear." I was like, first of all, it doesn't even look the
like
same,
right.
so there's no
I mean,
reason.
I'm
why
assuming
it was
the shadow was really Ben, and then she
Yes.
saw the bear and was like, "Oh, it was the bear." But that's where I'm like,
Alexis.
"That wasn't the bear."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you have a very different physique than that bear. Just
Yeah.
for the record.
Well,
For the record.
I can tell you. I'll tell you one thing that I kind of it kind of choked me up a little bit, and this
Gorilla. Sorry, it was a gorilla, not a bear.
This is a little praise for Billy Flynn. You know, it doesn't come too often from me.
Oh,
but
shit.
When
Man.
right when Abigail was like, get Ben, like he's holding Thomas, and like she was completely going crazy, and Billy's reaction of like he was like about to cry, and he was just like, oh my god, like she's really going crazy. Like I nearly kind of
Did you
teared up
see
a
my
little
tweet
bit.
about that?
No.
I took a screenshot of him doing that, and I was like, I put in quotes like he was thinking, "Oh shit, I married her."
But
He was thinking about how much that ring cost.
Right.
Oh man, another
Can I
one.
change my mind? Can I change my mind?
But
Time out.
I have to give such a huge kudos to you guys with that storyline, because it now with Ben escaping and not knowing where he is and everything, like it has suddenly become a very like creepy in a good way storyline, and you almost kind of feel for Abigail, because we didn't realize what an effect all of that had on her, and now all of a sudden, just with this news, she's just kind of like going out of her mind, and she's even questioning like, am I losing it? And she's trying not to, and I feel like she's really trying to like stay with what's real and what's not, but she really is starting to like
absolutely. I mean,
lose it.
granted, soap opera is a soap opera, but I mean, in any instance where a person goes through such traumatic experiences, you're going to take that home with you for a while.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to get through it one way or another, and I think they did a great job of kind of carrying it out that way.
Yeah.
And obviously the stakes are even higher, and it's soapy, but
Yeah.
it's I love
what
it,
we
man.
love.
You gotta keep the reality of what happens in these situations to some of these people, and that's what gets people drawn in. And I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
How are you feeling about like coming back and playing this character in this like sort of dreamy kind of a way? Because one part where I laughed, which it kind of made me feel like, oh, they use Rob as a background actor. I know how that feels. Was when like you did a cross in the foyer.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, I feel like Rob was standing there and they were like, go, and he just went.
That was it, man. Somebody motioned me, and Stuart was on the mic like, all right. Here we go. I'll tell you what. The first couple weeks when they brought me back and we were playing that whole story that we're kind of seeing now, the hallucinations of Ben and whatnot. That was probably some of the easiest money I've ever made because I just showed up, creeped people out, and left.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good gig.
Yeah.
Did you know when you left the last time that you were going to be coming back?
I did. One of our producers, Albert, he came right up to me even after our last scene when they carted Ben off to the crazy house. He told me, he's like, we're figuring this out. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get you back. And he was such a support from everything. As soon as they changed my storyline and they started writing for me, he was, I know, a big supporter of all that.
Oh, good.
Obviously his producer, but I mean, he did tell me I was coming back.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so.
When they do an episode like they did on Mondays, where it's an hour long, pretty much dedicated to 3 characters, you, Abby, and Chad, is that one day of filming, or was that done over the course?
You know, I think it was split up just because they shoot so much stuff per week. They do, even though we work 5 days, we shoot about 7.5 episodes. So I think it was still kind of pieced from other ones.
Got it.
But yeah, we grind that out over the course of the week.
Yeah.
It's all based on sets for time. If there's a lot of scenes that are happening in the DeMera Mansion, then chances are they could have shot most of that in a day.
Yeah.
But case by case.
And I do appreciate the fact that they did dedicate Monday to you guys, because I feel like
It was awesome.
if they interjected the other storylines, we wouldn't have felt what we feel for Abigail,
Right.
and we wouldn't have been able to feel how we feel now about the situation as a whole. And I feel like we needed that episode to be the way that it was, so that we can really understand where they're about to take
That's
Abigail
great.
and really feel for her.
They accomplished their mission, because at the end of the day, it's for the audience and for you guys to take in, and for them to do that, I'm glad to be a small part of it. The whole process was great. It was fun.
The only other time, and we talked about this too, the only other time they've ever dedicated a whole episode to a storyline was when EJ dreamt that Sammy had found out about what? Do we remember what secret that was? He did something.
We slept with Abigail.
Yes, that she found out. Of course, it has to deal with Abigail again.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, and so, and then to go through that whole scene, and then it was like, it was just a dream. It was like, but we felt something, and it was like, it really felt natural. Like, we were like, yeah, Sammy would kind of do that in reality. So, but let's see how fans are feeling about this storyline, and if anyone, oh no, maybe not yet.
How much fun was it months ago with the episode you and Billy Flynn beating the crap out of each other in your apartment, in Ben's apartment?
It's probably some of the funnest work we had. I'm sure Billy could attest to it too, man. He's my buddy, off screen for sure. And to be able to have something like that, I mean, they have their stunt guys come in or whatnot and coordinate everything, but we did everything on our own, and they just let us fly, and we had such a blast. And we got called up multiple times in editing. They were like, "You guys have had some of the most vicious fights, but this one took the cake.
100%.
Yeah. Granted, the writers were in charge of that too, but we just got to carry out the story and be the instrument for what they ultimately created. But that was one of my favorites.
And killing Will, that whole execution.
That was some of the stuff that we took home, man. You got to shake that off, because that was a wild. As soon as I read it, Albert and a couple of the writers told me before that was going to come. That was the turning point for Ben. He had already gone nuts, but that was the first one that he recognized and wasn't in a blackout stage.
Yeah.
That was like a moment where it was truly Ben going through it, not that Norman Bates character, the other persona that he had.
Yeah.
So that killing off Will, that was tremendous. That was a unbelievable moment to experience with Guy. Guy's incredible.
Right.
Guy Wilson.
zipping up the bag as his final.
Man,
That was sad.
Man. They, as soon as I kept flipping through the page, and I was just like, wow, they got me dragging this guy's body, trashing the apartment. I was like, they got me in a corner, man. But you just got to take that as an opportunity. And you know, I know a lot of people were upset by the loss of him, but a lot of people were supportive of just how wild the story had gotten. Just going along for the ride. So thanks. It's crazy.
Side note: do you know Deimos is living in Ben's old apartment?
Well, not now, because now he just took Victor's house. And he was happy to have a
has he had any hauntings? Because there's some bodies that have been left.
One thing that we have yet to see, though,
a coma in that house.
We haven't seen the flashing lights that would go on those.
You know, Ben lived in the south side of St. It's a little bit lower income housing in the south side. Yeah, man, I remember seeing those. It was so funny. People always commented on those.
They have given you such good material to work with pushing Abigail against the door. You got physical.
Yeah. They wrote an amazing story for me.
Right.
I'm so grateful for them because the first half of my stint on the show, I was still grateful to be there, and it was great being a part of it. But when they started writing for me, what could have been a short period of time, ended up being longer, and then coming back, and who knows what happens in the future. But they really wrote me amazing stuff. I'm so grateful. It was
so enjoyable to watch too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too often that I get to go out for projects like that where there's playing such a villainous character. And I love playing stuff like that because it's fun playing the bad guy. It's fun to be able to come out of your own normal life and experience stuff like that. And I'm just grateful they wrote it. Yeah, it was so fun.
Was that wild. I don't know. I'm not familiar with. You were on. What was the other soap opera you were on?
All My Children.
All My Children. Was your character at all?
No. He was totally a good guy. He was son of the Cortland Empire. So he was part of that family, and I had a great experience there too.
And they kicked off.
I worked with who was the villain was Vincent Irizarry.
Gotcha.
That's how I knew his antics there. How they would translate here. He's great, and
They kicked off that All My Children reboot with Petey Cortland coming back to Pine Valley.
Right. And that was the whole, you remember that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was great. They rented a cool little Porsche for me to drive, and we shot it, and it was great. We went on location. We had a bunch of great times.
And they wasted no time having you shirtless, hugging mom, like in the entryway of the home. And action.
Yeah, it was a lot for me to chew off the hop, and on top of that, they were like, he's definitely coming out of the shower in the first day.
Yeah.
But Jill Larson, who played my mom, she's just amazing.
Right.
I just texted her recently because her episode of Vinyl just aired. Do you guys watch Vinyl?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
She has a stint on there, so if you're watching Jill, you're the best.
I had a couple people in the chat room just asking. I don't know if you did this. If you didn't create this in your mind, that's fine. But they were asking if you had created a scenario in your mind of how Ben actually broke out of jail.
How he broke out of jail?
Yeah.
Did you? He wasn't. No, he was in a mental institution. He wasn't in jail. And the joke around the set, aka who knows what happened, but I heard Albert joked around about it too. Is that he? Actually, I think it was actually written in one of the episodes through somebody else's dialogue. Is that he flirted and seduced a nurse?
Oh, they did say that. They did say that.
Yeah,
they did say that.
I ran with that idea. I liked it.
Okay, that's great. That's They did say that. You're right. You're absolutely right. So there's your answer.
There you go.
I asked for you.
Have you had a favorite storyline?
Yeah, this was the one.
This is it.
Yeah. Oh, from myself?
Yes.
I mean,
whether it was killing Will or haunting Abigail, just
probably the most that I felt like it was just probably the confession, working with James Reed, going through everything that happened and reliving those moments and being able to tell that whole story. And for somebody who didn't watch the show previously to come in and see that, I wanted to get my point across. And it was an opportunity for me as an actor and for the show to show Ben in a different light. And if you can make anybody on the other side feel for somebody who's done so many bad things, I felt like that was a great challenge, and it was so scary for me to do.
Right.
And also when he reverted to the child. Doing stuff like that, when you first read it, it scares me, and it's like, how can I figure out a way around it? But I think some of the greatest lessons you can learn is when you're afraid of something like that, that's what is meant to be.
Yeah,
and those are your moments to learn and to grow. So those are my favorite moments.
Excellent.
For sure.
Awesome. So let's.
So the phones are not working right now.
Yeah, we're having some
Yeah,
technical
just wanted to let
difficulties.
everybody know that it looks like because there's about 12 people calling at the same time, Skype is acting up, so it makes the
Okay.
internet move a little slower. So ask your questions through
High
chat,
demand,
or
high
let
demand.
me know on the chat, and then I can
It's
chime
never
in
frozen
too if
before,
it's
just
if
so
it
you
starts
know.
to
Get out of here.
if that's okay with you, Tony.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Just saying.
I have a question though. Is it also affecting our live stream?
Yes. But
Okay.
the thing is, everybody can
Mine's-
see me talking, and if yours is moving fine, because on my end it says everything is good.
Okay.
Mine's thinking, and Matt's making a really funny face. It's frozen
Yeah.
on a really funny.
So-
Did we just break the internet, boys?
Oh,
We did.
I think you did,
I think we did. I noticed
that's
every time
great.
I refresh it, it does go back to that
Yeah.
same part. So I was just wondering.
I think it's more of a YouTube problem. It's not on our end.
Okay, so we'll keep
continue.
going, and hopefully everyone is still seeing the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, so let's get into some tidbits. So really quick, Belle and Philip, basically they had a moment where Belle kind of got nervous and thought that Philip was going to propose, but he actually just wants them to be in more of a committed type
Right.
of relationship.
and she doesn't want any exclusivity.
Yeah, Belle is like, listen, trying to get over one situation, not ready to hop into another one. But I kind of feel like she told him exactly what she wanted. It was basically more like, when I need to sleep with you, I'll call you. If not, have a good day.
Mincing words. She
Yeah,
is not
no,
mincing words.
she's not, she's not holding anything back. She's not like sugarcoating anything. She's like, listen, when I need it, I'll call you.
Yeah, he was like, wait a second, I wasn't even trying to propose to you. I
Right.
think he was,
And yet
though.
another week without Sean.
Yeah. Well, him and Lonnie are maybe
Whatever.
stuck at the Salem Inn doing the do.
Yeah.
Doing the do.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say, another moment this week that I thought was great in like just this week of amazing soap opera moments was the Steve and Kayla.
Right.
And the fact that they actually used a real song, the
Like,
Clint Black
oh, okay.
song. And
Yeah.
I was like,
They got the
shut-
rights to
I
that.
know, I was like,
I saw it.
They
days
paid for that.
And
They got money.
I actually tweeted out Clint Black and was like, great to hear your song on Days, and he liked it.
Oh,
so
there
that
you
was
go.
nice.
Look
That
at
was
you
nice.
up on that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Proud of you, Mark.
Yeah, some Clint Black. I love
And then
that.
we had some Sierra, Hope, Chase. Chase is
Chase is basically gonna be a
right.
bum on the
Chase's
streets
role
of Salem.
model is Ben Liston.
Hey, I got you, brother.
Yep, attacking that woman at the end of Friday's episode.
Yeah, by stealing
Stealing her purse?
because
He mugged her.
she's the only person wandering around Horton Town Square, and she gets her purse stolen.
Yeah.
After he only counts that he has $5.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
man.
a creep.
Yeah. Well,
I think they're taking him down a path though that I think it worked for me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of fueling into this that he's kind of spiraling out of control. But I have a prediction for later that I'm saving because I have an idea of where this is going.
Hope promised that she was going to take care of Sierra after being raped by Chase, and it's just a lot of talk. She needs to actually go ahead and get some help.
And I was gonna
Yeah.
say that little girls' night in the hotel, I thought could have gone way further. Like I was like, they were like, let's have girls' night in the hotel room, and then they cut back to them with just like a scoop of ice cream. I was like,
Because they're watching
no,
their figure.
Yeah.
That's when you get out the carton and 2 spoons,
Yeah.
and you're in your PJs,
And a
you're
face
hot
mask.
Betty's.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I wanted, and I was like very disappointed when they cut to that. I was like,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's one storyline that could afford to speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was exciting
Yeah.
that Chase finally did something,
Yeah.
by robbing the woman, but
Well, I like that he showed up at the DeMera mansion, and Chad is like,
get out, rapist.
This is my house.
Yep.
yeah.
have a good day, guards.
And how did he
Security.
get on the property? The DeMera Mansion is the least safe place
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
But they still have all those
Those are
guards.
rent-a-cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he was living in the tunnel, wasn't he?
Who?
Which is also easy access.
Chase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you showed up in the security, I say you, but when
Yeah.
Ben showed up in the security jacket, I couldn't tell if it was the Vision or not.
Ben.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
Illusion
Yeah,
of
well,
Ben.
I actually thought this time when you showed up in the security, I was like, oh, here's real Ben.
Yep, that's
and then
what I thought too.
It was still fake
No,
Ben. I was
man.
like, oh,
Yeah.
we're all confused.
Yeah.
And I actually have to, since we're talking about this now, and now's probably a good time for me to let you know that this is actually not.
Yeah, this is an illusion.
Rob,
This is just an
this is
illusion.
an
Yeah,
illusion.
guys, we stuffed some stuff.
We got money. We got 3D holograms in here.
You thought Tupac and Coachella was something?
Right.
That's right.
got
that's
Rob
right.
Wilson up in
right
here.
here.
But I'm
That's why
pretty-
we're show of
Holographic.
shows.
But I'm pretty sure someone's gonna message like, well, if you were gonna do a hologram, why didn't you do one with his shirt off? Because we could only afford one ab. So, and then we have the basically with Ray, the Hernandez family. First of all, I want Dario to bring it down 2 notches with the whole like I hate Eduardo. Like everyone's trying to like move past what happened, and I feel like they took 10 steps forward and he's bringing them 5 steps back.
But they have to have some sort of conflict. They can't all just be like happy.
Yeah.
But find something else. Can we find out another secret about him? Something.
There'll be other stuff. But I'm
sure.
okay. I'm not that upset with it.
But speaking of the Hernandez family, did anyone #spot Tony when Rafe and Mama Hernandez were talking in Hortontown Square?
Oh, I did not.
I didn't.
I always miss them, though. I don't.
Y'all missed it. I was sitting behind Rafe. I had just sat down to have lunch with my imaginary friend, and then I got up, and she was there, and we were ordering. Yeah. Some people. I actually didn't know that it was coming on this week, but some people tweeted me a photo. So thank you to those people who tweeted me the photo of me in Hortontown Square.
I have a question from the chat since I know that everyone can't really see
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
From Kari Lucas, since she's going to watch this a little later today.
Yes.
What was your favorite scene during your time on Days? This is for Rob.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Okay.
No, not this time.
Sorry, I was reading this popping up.
Yeah.
Your favorite scene?
My favorite scene for Ben?
Yeah.
My favorite scene for Ben, like I said, probably some of the ones that really scared me when I first read them off the page. So, the very ending when he reverted to a child, those were very intense scenes that I had never done, even in a class setting, in acting class or anywhere else. So that was a really great opportunity for me that I'm so grateful they wrote for me and they trusted me with it. And that was probably one of my favorites. And the fight scenes with Billy, just because it was so fun to be physical, and we did all our own stunts, so that was fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
Who were you friends with, your co-stars off screen?
Me, Manzi, and I, we still speak. We'll shoot each other a text message and touch base with each other. But Billy Lee's probably one of my closer friends. Isn't that crazy? Like after everything we've gone through in story-wise, but it's like he's one of my buddies. He's one of my close friends. I touch base with Guy Wilson quite a bit, and I talk to Freddie. And Galen, he's a wild guy. We've had too much tequila multiple times together, and he's awesome. So
Cool.
Yeah, got a good group of people over there, man.
You love your co-stars.
I got lucky.
Good.
Got lucky.
All right, so that has been your week of days, and now we are going to get into our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! Now, I kind of went through this week. There were so many moments that definitely deserved 3 snaps, but and I feel like this person is probably going to get a lot of praise this week, but he definitely gets my 3 Snaps Awards for his many clapbacks throughout the week, Mr. Victor Kiriakis.
Oh, yes.
Like, all this week, he had clapbacks during Maggie, Damo, like every scene that he was in, it was always something, especially even in the and I giggled because I'm like, Summer, sweetie, you have no idea what you're up against. And poor thing came in to check on her mom, and Victor was basically like, you opportunist.
When he called her Gidget, I almost peed.
I died. So
I actually rewound it. I was like, did he say Gidget?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he just said Gidget.
He totally did.
Yeah.
So Victor, and it was actually close between Victor and I don't know if it was because I was really hungry, but that cornbread and chili that Steve and Caleb were eating looked really good. And I was like, that's going to get my 3 Snaps Award. But I was like, no. After a meal, I was like, I'm good. So Victor Kiriakis gets Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right. And now...
Oh, shoot.
That sound means it can only be the disaster moment of the week. Matthew.
So the disaster moment of the week was initially going to Teresa for crawling on the floor for an entire episode, but it goes to the only thing creepier than Ben Weston is that bear right there, or the gorilla.
It's a gorilla.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
God.
The shadow.
What the hell is that? Wait, that was You guys said that was supposed to be me?
Yes! When she saw the shadow,
Yeah,
she goes
she
in the
saw-
hall.
yeah.
That's what they... that was the
Abigail
shadow.
saw a shadow,
man.
Yeah.
and she thought it was you.
Yeah.
And
Now
when she
you know
got
what I'm talking
closer,
Guys, if I saw that, I would have stepped in. I wouldn't have let you guys have to deal with that.
they had.
I would have brought in my creative expression
That's
on this
it.
one and pulled that little.
Yeah.
What is
Wait,
that?
is that
Exactly.
supposed to be you, Rob?
Yes!
There are
Well, it was supposed to be the shadow.
I'm done. Get the hell out of here.
There
You're so much
are
cuter.
a couple of
thank
things
you.
though that I have to
Nice.
say about this. Number one, is that supposed to be comforting to a child? Someone was like, "Let's get this gorilla for little baby Thomas / Colin." I mean, that is
That looks like
that is
it looks like the
terrifying on its
abominable
own.
snowman
Yeah.
from Frosty.
Totally.
Or
Right.
Totally.
Rudolph or whatever. it
And
is.
then when Abigail kept seeing the shadow, it was clearly the shadow of a male who we presumed was you.
Yeah.
And then she gets closer to the shadow, and it ends up being the shadow of the gorilla. It was a mess left and right.
Jesus.
And
God.
I the only thing more terrifying than you was this. So
Yeah.
I would much rather see you than
Oh, thank you.
this.
Amen
Thanks.
to that.
Amen.
And finally,
Oh, and now, that has been your disaster moment of the week. And now it's time for Mark's Quote of the Week.
All right, as you well know, there were very, 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 very many quotes of the week this week. I just couldn't. Yeah, I literally kept changing it. But I went back to the second one I picked, and it goes to. Well, I'll read the dialogue. Victor says when. Teresa tells everybody yes that she said yes to Brady. Victor says, "Of course she did. What a surprise." Maggie says, "Damn it, Victor! I swear I'll faint again."
That moment was hilarious.
I just didn't expect it too. I think that was why. Like I just didn't expect that to come out of her, and I was just like, "Maggie, you've been hanging out with Victor too long."
And she said it so smoothly. She was just like,
Totally.
"You want me to faint again?"
She totally did. So Maggie gets my quote of the week.
All right, and that has been
Hit the music.
Mark's Quote of the Week.
I'm trying to do 5 different things over here.
I know.
Jeez.
I know.
That's
Man,
fine.
she's got a tough job, man.
She does. And especially when it comes to my shows.
so thank you, Alexis.
Yes. And now,
Alexis.
Mark,
Good
who's
job.
our fan of the week?
Our fan of the week, I think, Alexis, I gave you a picture for this one.
Yeah,
This,
can
our
I
fan of
grab
the week
it
is
right
going to
now?
go to our former co-host, Peter, who tweeted out, who's now Mr. Dooligan on Twitter. He says, "I was home bored with my Legos. What do you think?" And sent, nope, that's Rob. I think I sent
God.
you one. Nope, that's Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Nope, that's not. Nope.
I'm looking for it.
It's picture number 5, I do believe.
Oh, hold on. Are you in here?
Can I just say,
I'll keep looking for it.
I saw those, and I messaged you, and I was
messaged me,
like,
yeah.
I can't. Well,
It's basically a Lego set. And he uses Legos and created the Dish and Days set with Tony, Peter, and me when
What?
we were doing
Yeah,
in his
it's
Legos.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty kind of cool.
or it was or when we had Jen on the show, when we had Molly on the show, he recreated that with Legos.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, I looked pretty mean in those Legos, and I don't know if I just
I don't know
always
if
look up.
he even gave
if
me
I
big
don't look-
hair, so I
don't know if I
how
look like that
happened.
or
I think
that's
it's
his
in the. I
interpretation.
sent a couple photo emails, so you might. I think it was in the first one I sent, but I could be wrong.
Rob.
But if not, I'll tweet it
I'll
out
keep
later.
looking.
Do you have a favorite set at Days of Our Lives?
Set,
My
oh,
favorite
set to work on.
I like the new club they made for me. Well, not for me, it's for
TBD?
everybody, but when
Or-
you're not TBD.
Edge of Square?
Edge of Square.
You know why I liked it so much? Because I was so sick and tired of TBD, man.
Yeah.
Why they put me in that maroon thermal with the maroon walls every day? I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here. So when
Yeah.
we built that set, that was cool. What's another set I really liked? They put me in the I don't know. I had some good moments in the police station, so I grew accustomed to being in that place,
Right.
cuffed to the chair.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I got places in my heart for a few different sets, so they're all cool. I was
Is it
happy
cool
built
when
me an
they
apartment.
when they build an
Probably that
apartment? They're
was
like,
my
this is
favorite.
your place.
Yeah, I was like, wow. After all, finally, I gotta kill some people. I start getting some respect. They got me my apartment.
You
everything
demanded
else.
respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was great. I like being in the south side of Salem with the weird lights and the window that we talked about and stuff
Right.
like that. So yeah, I think Ben's apartment was my favorite. Yeah, I loved it. That was cool.
and well, someone asked, and I'm pretty sure we covered this now. They wanted to know if they used your shadow for Monday's episode in the mansion, but it obviously wasn't you; it was someone else.
From Monday's show?
Yeah,
Where we thought was the gorilla.
I'm not sure. Oh, that was for the gorilla? Yeah, I have no idea about that gorilla. That has nothing to do with that. So yeah.
Well,
I would have saved you guys from that.
Well, basically, she was in the room, in the baby's room, and on the door, because the door was open, whenever there was lightning, there was a silhouette, which was clearly you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she finally went to out to look, and the lightning struck, we saw
it was that. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that the idea was
they're
that
wanting to know
it was you
to be me, right?
But when she came out, she saw the bear and was like, or the gorilla, sorry, and was just like, oh, okay, it was a gorilla, which I think is ridiculous.
But they wanted to know if you stood in as the shadow.
Honestly, I don't think I did. I can't even remember that so much time has gone by since we shot this stuff.
Right.
But for that in that particular shot, I don't think it was even me. But that it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think that was the idea of it.
Yeah. We're like 5.5 months ahead, guys. So some of the stuff I'm trying to refresh.
Speaking of, what do you think of the fact that they are reducing that time?
Well, I'm just happy that they got renewed. You know, you gotta play the game, but you know, it's the bottom line is they're still going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what show is 5.5 months ahead?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
You know, I think it's okay. You just gotta get used to the new way of shooting it. You know, a little more time off, and you know, it's all good. It's all good.
You can maybe tell everybody if it had anything to do with the fact that we complained about it all the time.
So it was because of you guys.
We like to think that it was because of us.
Yeah.
I don't think it really was, but that's what we like to think because we complained about it.
I'll tell you what, when they have their interviews talking about the show, it's gonna be a lot easier to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a half a year ago.
Right. Right.
So no, it's all good, man. I'm just happy they got renewed. So
Me too.
Well, one thing we didn't get a chance to talk about last week, but is a great time to bring up are the Emmy nominations, and I for one was actually kind of surprised that you were nowhere to be found, especially with the work that you have done with Ben.
Thanks, man.
What happened? Where like you surely had to be submitted for
yeah,
Emmy.
man. I mean, you know what? There's so much that goes into that with you know. I don't know. I just hope whoever is nominated from Days, I hope Days wins some awards or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean. If everybody didn't bring it up to me, I probably wouldn't even have cared as much. But so many people were telling me, "I'm sitting next to you at the Emmys," and it's like, oh, now I got invested in the idea.
Right.
But I mean, then I had to shake it off and come to reality. It was like, is this gonna get me another job? Is this gonna all it's gonna do is give me a little boost of ego? But I mean, it's not really gonna change anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish it did. You know, but I mean, I've met a lot of people that want them, and nothing really changed. So it's like. It's nice to be honored by your fellow colleagues, but I'd much rather have the fans enjoy the work that we do and to kind of just keep doing it. You know?
I definitely
the awards for art really don't make sense to me.
Well, art is art. I definitely think we all do definitely enjoy what you're bringing to the table as Ben. And if we had Chandler Massey's Emmy out on the table, which we normally do, I would have given you that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Because it's been great. It's been great to see the transition. Into Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs Ben, as I call him, you know, and that you played it very well. And no, he's not like that in real life.
Well, I was gonna also say too, you know, I think people, especially people that aren't in the industry and aren't around what really goes on, they don't really know what goes on for the Emmys to happen and the nominations and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of what's the words I'm looking for?
You gotta be delicate, right?
I mean, I don't have to be delicate because I'm never gonna get one, but like there's a lot of trickery. So it's not always the people that deserve it, which we all know because we watch Academy Awards and Emmys all the time, and we all know that the people who most deserve it typically doesn't win it. It's all.
You know what? They make the great ones wait, and that's why Leo finally got it.
That's right.
They make the great ones wait.
Right.
You can't give it to them right off the bat. It's like a curse.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's a curse.
Yeah.
Susan Lucci, who had to wait for a long
19
time.
times.
Yeah.
And yet,
11.
And yet, when people
Or was
bring
it
up
19? I
think
when
19,
people bring up that show, the first thing they'll talk about is Susan Lucci.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean,
Another talented
I rest
actress
my case.
from Young and the Restless has been nominated several times. Melissa Claire Egan, so talented, hasn't won yet.
Hasn't won yet?
No, and she deserves
I'm
Emmy.
sure she does, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make the great ones wait. It's
Right.
okay.
That's okay.
Leo, man, if he had to wait for an Oscar, and that man has deserved them 15 times over,
Right.
Man, I'll wait my turn for whatever praise, man. I'm grateful just to be able to have a job.
Getting to watch you every day is so enjoyable.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Thank
Absolutely.
When Christopher Sean was here, I pulled up a picture of him from Days Gone By,
Nice.
and I just felt it was appropriate I do the same thing to you.
Okay.
So I know Alexis has flashed it up there a couple of times. I was gonna bring this up because I do believe, if I read this correctly,
I know. I saw it up there.
but you're the only
yes.
male model from The Price
Good
is Right.
God, Rob.
If I'm not mistaken,
Come on.
right?
And the glory days.
Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
No, man, that was such a great experience. The whole Price is Right family, man, they were so good to me, and it opened up the doors of daytime. The whole daytime community has been so good to me, and I'm grateful for all of them. And my experience on there was so fun, and it's so funny to sit here now and talk about being like a psychopath playing a psycho killer. Because 2 years ago I was cheesing, giving away free trips to Fiji, and riding jet ski with my shirt off. So it's like, we grow, we go through this journey, and I'm so grateful, and I had such a great time with that whole operation.
Do you
Man,
still
I need
have
to start watching daytime television.
Do you still have the swim trunks?
You know what? I think I let them hang on to those. I got my own collection, but that's for the next guy. I actually helped pick the second male model.
Okay.
They judged. They had another web series like I went through at the end of 2012, and they did it again, and they brought me on to kind of teach these guys the ropes, and it was just a great experience. They got a new dude on there. He's a cool guy, and it's all part of the journey, man.
That's great.
Yeah, there's no blueprint to this industry. So
No,
Exactly.
not at all.
I just enjoy every minute of it. It's been great.
Now, a tidbit, I remember when this happened, and I was this close to going down and auditioning myself. However, what stopped me was when I walked by the mirror and I was like, don't fool yourself. You went to McDonald's too many times.
You got there and saw him.
No.
You
got there. You went to McDonald's too many times, and I guarantee you they're gonna ask you to take your shirt off.
You would have taken my job. You would have taken my job.
Listen,
man.
I don't.
Tony, and I'd be sitting here.
Look, from here up, maybe. But from here down, you got me. But I do remember when they announced you as the winner. Because I've heard of you before Days and everything like that, and I was like, of course they picked Rob Wilson. Like everybody is familiar with Rob Wilson.
No,
so
that was so great. It got down to the three of us after we did the whole web series about kind of getting eliminated or whatnot, and then America had to vote, and I think my New England people had my back, so that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I got. They're playing the Lakers
There we
today.
go.
Celtics are playing the Lakers tonight, so
great.
we gotta represent. But
Celtics.
Let's
Hey.
go Boston.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
my dad's from Boston, so.
Oh, your dad is clearly the man. What was I gonna say? But no, I think I just had a lot of support, and it opened up doors, and I had a great experience. So yeah. And then Drew Carey's my boy. I love Drew.
Drew was in my acting class with me. He was amazing.
Did you study with Sam Christensen?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he was so sweet. And it was so funny because I got into class and he's sitting there, and in my head I'm like, oh, that guy really looks like Drew Carey.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
and it was Drew
And
Carey.
then like Sam, so he's like, you guys may have recognized our new student, and he's like, Drew Carey, and I was like, oh, okay.
That is
At least I know my eyes are working.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, no, he's a nice guy.
He told
really
me
nice
about
guy.
working with Sam. I didn't get a chance.
Sam's
So
amazing.
I study elsewhere, but he loves him, and I've heard such great things about him.
If anyone's an actor in LA and you haven't looked into Sam Christensen, and they're not paying me to say this, he changed my life forever.
There you go. That's
Changed
great,
my life
man.
forever. Yeah.
That's great.
It's a nice little plug right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
No, he's amazing.
With
Do it.
that, let's plug some other stuff before we run out of time and get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Mark.
Oh, I'm doing this. So this coming Wednesday at 2 p.m., we have the amazing, you've been asking, we got her. Mary Beth Evans will be joining us on
So
Wednesday.
excited.
Nice.
She actually responded to, I tweeted out for her birthday, and she saw it and she liked it, and then right after that I got a message from her assistant saying, and we've been working on this for a while, trying to make it happen. So she'll be here on Wednesday.
Could we have a more exciting week? We have Rob Wilson, Mary Beth Evans,
I know.
Jason Brooks.
Yeah.
So good.
And-
Well, it doesn't stop there. Because you guys, especially Daquan, have been asking for it. And next Sunday at 3 p.m. before Audition Days, we will have the legendary Miss Allison Sweeney joining us for an exclusive spotlight on. She'll be talking about her new book, Opportunity Knocks, and also we'll travel down Days Memory Lane with her. So
you might want to give everybody a chance to close their jaws now because I'm sure a lot of jaws hit the floor just now.
Yeah. Allison Sweeney is going to be here, so it's going to be amazing.
Can't wait.
Nice.
So excited. We also have the 7th Annual Indie Series Award this week in LA on Wednesday, April 6th at El Porto Theater, down the street in North Hollywood, hosted by none other than Jen Lilly and Eric Martzoff, being streamed exclusively on AfterBuzz TV at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Martha Madison's Winterthorn has the most nominations with 13, and The Bay has 11 nominations.
That's Mary Beth Evans. Is that not her as well? Yeah.
And finally, Mike Goldberg will be on the red carpet for Serial Scoop, interviewing the guests as they arrive. So make sure to look out for that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then, dun dun dun, in Toronto, I will be in Toronto with this knucklehead and the other knucklehead, Billy Flynn.
That's right.
For Daytime Stars events on July 23rd. It's a 5-hour cruise of Toronto. I think she's throwing up some pictures and stuff that I found from the website. There's an online and live auction, which all proceeds benefit the American Lung Association. And there's a new meet and greet package available now, too. So check out the website. It's www.daytimestars, plural, events, plural, .ca. I do believe. I think I wrote .com, but it's .ca. She is also offering a payment plan. So if you can't pay up front, she's letting you guys do a little payment plan.
I love that.
It'll be worth it. I can guarantee it.
100%.
Come to Toronto, guys.
That's
Do
right.
it.
Booze
cruise.
I'm bringing the tequila.
There you go.
And she just posted this, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Sarah about this, but she said for U.S. fans, check out at Travel Nation CA, which is Travel Nation Canada, for help to get here and help you save. So I'm assuming they're maybe offering some sort of discount or deal or something like that. And then also a little DVR alert for Miss Lindsay Hartley, who was Ariana on Days of Our Lives. She'll be starring in the new Lifetime movie thriller Dying to Be Loved on Saturday, April 16th at 8 p.m. Check your local listings.
And you also worked with her on All My Children, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I didn't have any scenes with her, but we did work together in New York, or Stamford, Connecticut, rather.
Right.
Yeah, so it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're all family in the daytime world.
Yeah.
It's like you got to bridge to somebody somehow.
Yeah.
It's great. Cool.
And Lisa just tweeted me information on the New York event, April 16th and 17th.
Perfect.
So it's 2 days, 3 events. There's a meet and greet, Italian feast, and a Sunday brunch with the one and only Rob Wilson. So I will be posting this information on audition
Do I
days.
get to go?
You guys crack me up, man.
Yes, you can go, Alexis.
Yay!
Alexis, you're gonna be on my flight actually.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited.
So we'll post this information on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page so that you guys in the New York area can attend this event.
Yes.
And that's it.
I
That's
love
all that we
Sundays. What a good day.
Yeah, it's a
this
very
was
good
so
day.
much
It's a
Good
fun.
day, man. I'm
Very
glad I
good day.
finally got to make
Yeah.
it.
I'm
So
glad I
glad
skipped
you're
church.
here.
Yes. Well,
Did you just say you skipped church? Mark.
Mark has skipped church for the past,
it's been a
55
while.
years?
Mark skipped
55
from
years,
church.
Ring the bells at
Now-
the altar boy, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
With that, now, unfortunately, we had a lot of technical difficulties.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I told the fans that the replay should be up in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
And to make sure to tweet obviously everybody who's at that panel right now, including myself, and I'll make sure to let everybody know that you guys have questions or comments and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes, but with that, Rob, they really, really want you to come back. So will you please come back one day?
I will be
very
here,
soon?
man. I will be here. I'll be back.
Perfect.
Yay!
Good. Done.
Another
You
car
heard
wash.
it here
I'll
first,
buy you another
folks.
car wash.
Another car wash,
Fine.
bro.
Another car wash. Kind of
Perfect.
Kind of.
I'll help you, Mark.
Yeah.
Deal.
As long as I don't actually have to wash.
I'll do
And
it.
really quick, Mark,
Thank you.
you had a prediction that you were going to.
I do have a
mention.
prediction. I think.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Thank you. I was ready for that. I think honestly the only logical way Aiden and Chase can be redeemed, in my opinion, is that they're not Aiden and Chase. I feel like they're like imposters, like Roman and John, that kind of thing, because I just don't understand how any of this can continue,
Right.
with him having killed, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't.
Someone needs to take out
So
Aiden
that's
and
what I keep
Chase.
thinking, and I'm thinking because of all this stuff with Chase and Andre, that Andre put them into play, because I didn't really understand why Andre and Chase were having these little intimate conversations and stuff, but I feel like that's the connection, that it's Andre kind of has these imposters in place. And that's why all that's happened. And that's going to justify it all.
Well, you know me, just a fan with open arms. Whatever you give me days, I will take. Well, that has been your week.
Until he gets here and has something to say about it.
Right.
Also, you killed Daquan, Tony, with the news. He actually stopped talking
My
on the chat
prediction,
and couldn't
you
breathe.
Oh, boy. I'm
With
pretty
Allison
sure.
Sweeney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that has been our wonderful show here at AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. Before we head out, Mark, where can they find you via social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE.
And Mr. Rob Wilson, where can they find you?
Twitter is Mr. Robert Scott, and Instagram is Robert Scott Wilson. Follow me. Follow you back.
Follow
You followed
him.
me back today. Thank you.
And he followed me back too. I was so excited. And you can find
Did you follow me?
If you were
No.
smart, you wouldn't.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Matthew Evan. That's it.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you, Rob, for coming
Yes,
in.
thank you,
having me,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we will see you next Sunday for another wonderful recap of Days of Our Lives right here on AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days.
Thank you.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, you're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.